Okay guys, I already told you that while reading Monsoon chapter, you have to be very explorative, like the Sinbad. Okay, like Sinbad, like Marco Polo, your nature have been very explorative. You see, in all the theory, we all know that the monsoon is created by the differential heating between northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Okay, now here you see it is differential heating. Okay, but the thing is that while reading the all the theory, you have to first examine, or you have to first explore what is the role of Indian Ocean in what is the role of Indian Ocean to the monsoon system in India. What role the Indian Ocean plays in all the theory of monsoon. In first stage, we all know that the whole theory of monsoon is related to differential heating of high pressure and low pressure. That is why a pressure difference is created and air comes from high pressure to low pressure. It is the first stage. But in second stage, we have to explore if there had not been Indian Ocean between northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Okay, then what will happen? If there had been no Indian Ocean, then today have we found the monsoon system that we have evidence? It is the role of Indian Ocean. We have to examine what role Indian Ocean plays to the monsoon system actually. Okay, it is first duty. It is our first duty to explore the role of Indian Ocean in all theory of monsoon. Then we have to say that monsoon system after southwest monsoon, when it actually becomes two branches, one is Arabian branches and one is with Bay of Bengal branches. The thing is that in case of Bay of Bengal branches, what is the role of northeastern range of Himalayas? We know that Bay of Bengal branches enters northeastern Himalaya, but what happened? There is a barrier of mountain ranges of Himalaya, Garo, Khasi, Jayantia in Meghalaya. Okay, then in second point, we have to explore in all the theory of monsoon that what role did these northeastern ranges of Himalaya, northeastern hill ranges of Himalaya play in Indian monsoon. What is the contribution of these northeastern ranges of Himalaya to the Indian monsoon? If there had been no northeastern ranges of Himalaya in northeast India, then have we evidenced such kind of have we evidenced the abundance of rainfall in India, especially in Ganga plain? It is our duty to explore. Okay, it is an extended level study. Okay, then again in a very wholesome way, in a wholesome view, in an explorative manner, in all theory of monsoon, we have to examine the role of mountains. And in this case, which mountain will come? Number one, Arauli. Number two, Eastern and Western Ghat. Number three, Northeastern mountains like Garu, Khasi, Jayantia. We have to examine the role of all these mountains to the monsoon system in India as a whole. That is why how we have to approach while reading Indian monsoon. In all theory of monsoon, we have to first examine the contribution of Indian Ocean to Indian monsoon. Second, we have to see that the role of northeastern mountain ranges to Indian monsoon. Third, we have to examine the role of Arauli and Eastern and Western Ghat to the contribution of Indian monsoon. If there had been, you have to just think, what if there had been no Himalaya, if there had been no Arauli, if there had been no northeastern ranges of Himalaya, if there had been no Eastern and Western Ghat, if there had been no Indian Ocean, have we found the abundance of monsoon as we have evidence at this moment? Just think why and how. What will happen if it is and if it is not? It is your duty to explore while reading Indian monsoon in all theory of monsoon. Then come to the new theory of monsoon. The new theory of monsoon. In new theory of monsoon, what we have to examine or what we have to explore. You see, first thing, in new theory of monsoon, we have to very minutely examine the role of easterly jet, role of westerly Z, and role of Somali Z. I have already given interpretation in my last lecture what is easterly Z and what is westerly Z and how they contribute to Indian monsoon. And I am going to give lecture on Somali Z very soon. But while reading in new theory of monsoon, you have to first keep notice, or you have to first keep in mind the role of easterly Z, the role of westerly Z, and the role of Somali Z in new theory of monsoon. Okay, you have to very minutely, you must have to be able to minutely differentiate between easterly Z, westerly Z, and Somali Z, and how they played a great role in Indian monsoon. Okay, you must have to see, examine this, their contribution. Okay, in a conceptual way, don't remember facts, just examine, be explorative, and try to decipher the concept. Now come to the role of mountain. In all theory of monsoon, we have examined the role of Arauli, role of northeastern ranges of Himalaya, role of Indian Ocean, role of western and eastern Ghats. Okay, now in new theory of monsoon, we have to examine the role of Himalayas, Himalayan ranges. We have to examine the role of African hills or African mountain, and we have to examine the role of Tibetan plateau. Okay, in all theory in which we have examined the role of different physiographic factors like Arauli ranges, northeastern hills, eastern and western Ghat, Indian Ocean. Here in new theory of monsoon, we have to examine the role of Himalayan ranges, the role of Tibetan plateau, and role of African hills, how they contribute to the Indian monsoon. It is our duty to explore these things in new theory of monsoon. Then after that, what we have to see, I already told you, knowing the difference between two terms or two things is the knowing the basics. Okay, and in case of monsoon, in this chapter there are different terms. Apparently they seem to be similar. Okay, more or less they are similar to one another, but still there is a minute difference between them. Then we have to know this basic difference to get the wholesale concept of monsoon in our mind. Okay, and the basic difference is that ITCZ, monsoon trough, and equatorial trough. In as a whole, this seems very different. As a whole, apparently and explicitly, it seems that they are almost same. ITCZ, intra-tropical convergence zone, monsoon trough, equatorial trough. It seems all are similar. Okay, but they are similar, but they are not identical. There is a minute difference among them. That's why it is our duty to explore, to apply our mind to know the differences, how ITCZ, monsoon trough, equatorial trough are different from each other. After that, you have to again the similar terms, like it seems similar, like monsoon burst, monsoon break, monsoon arrival, monsoon departure. We have to make a 3 or 4 line notes against each term. We have to make a 2 or 3 line notes against each term, how each one of is different from another, and what are the peculiar characteristics of each to the Indian monsoon. Now you see, from mains point of view, you have to prepare notes on some topics. Topic 1, monsoon trough and monsoon anomaly. What is the relation between monsoon trough and monsoon anomaly? Topic 2, western disturbances, Mediterranean plateau, Mediterranean region, westerly Z, western cyclonic disturbances, how they are interrelated and what is their relation and how they contribute to Indian monsoon. You have to prepare note. Topic 3, food security and Z stream. How the phenomenon of Z stream, or how Z stream contributed to Indian agriculture. Okay, you have to analyze this topic. And topic 4, westerly Z and Indian rabi crop. How westerly Z helps in Indian rabi crop. Okay, you have to examine this. Topic 5, cyclone and Indian monsoon. What is the relation between cyclone and Indian monsoon? Which cyclone come in which season? Which cyclone occurs in which season and why? Then in a very extensive reading, you can also see that what is the relation between Indian monsoon and Indian culture. Okay, because you see most of the festivals are related to Indian monsoon. Bihu is such kind of a festival. Okay, India, it is integrated related with literature, Indian culture. You can prepare a note also on Indian monsoon and Indian culture. Then you see in a depth level, and in the third stage what we have to see? We have to see the El Nino phenomenon, southern oscillation and shape of Indian continent, and we have to examine and we have to explore what is the relation between El Nino and Indian monsoon, what is the relation between southern oscillation and Indian monsoon, what is the relation between shape of Indian continent and Indian monsoon. We have to prepare notes on these topics. In this way, if we approach, then I think your study for both pre and mains will be finished, and you will be able to answer all the questions for prelims and mains.